Steve Ryan-Gledhill, it is great to have you here at noise11.com. I think you are potentially the oldest person with a debut album that I've ever interviewed.
Go me.
I've had some pretty young ones in the days. Like you can see 67-year-old me having to talk to like 13, 14, 15-year-olds. It's
Yeah, it's a challenge.
they must feel like grandpa's been sent in the room. So at least we can talk one-on-one from the same era.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Let me talk about you as a singer-songwriter, and it has taken a long time to get to this debut album. But in particular, some of these songs do date back quite some time. If we go back to How I Feel the Rain, that's
Now
got
for
a
the
10-year
rain.
history.
14, actually, I think.
2000,
Yeah,
Black Friday. What year was
Black
Black Friday?
Saturday.
2006?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's been around for a while. Good song, though.
It's a very good song, a very passionate song. How closely is this version to the original version that you wrote all those years ago?
In terms of the structure of it, it hasn't changed very much. The verse, chorus, verse, half chorus, verse, bridge, verse, outro has kind of been around when it was written initially. Really, though, I felt it warranted more. So I wanted to. We had recorded it once before, around after the Black Saturday bushfires, and we did a few shows, and we produced a CD single, and donated all the money to the CFA. But I always felt the song deserved a bit more, so we sort of reimagined it as a country gospel thing. So to really bring home that redemption at the outro chorus, the town keeps on living kind of thing, trying to show the Aussie battler spirit. Everybody was in disarray and didn't know where their families were, what their homes were like and everything. And then, this commitment to the community and to rebuild. And I think the outro chorus works much better with that feel to it.
Yeah, you've co-written this song with Justin Smith and John Webster. Tell me how the three of you collaborated. How did that work?
I had a band called the Broken Sweethearts, which was kind of country, big Graham Parsons-y kind of thing. And I said to the guys, we've got a gig at some place in Carlton. And they said, yeah, but they only do originals. And I said, yeah. And said, well, we don't have any originals. I said, well, best we write some then. So we got together one afternoon and wrote 6, of which this was one of them. Johnny Webster keeps humbly saying, why have you got my name on as the co-writer? I hardly did anything. It was 2 chords, which you hear in the opening of the recording. And then Justin and I did the rest.
They've got successful careers on the side, but you had a very distinguished career as a finance executive.
I did, yes. Yeah, I'm pleased to say. Yeah, I worked out of Melbourne in international finance, I guess, from the mid-'80s. And then 1994, I went to Hong Kong and was basically in funds management for what was then National Mutual, now AXA. And then I got headhunted to Chase Manhattan, which is where I did a lot of time backwards and forwards to New York and covering Asia. That's where I met Henry Kissinger and David Rockefeller and all of those sorts of people.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was sort of as I said, 94, and then I came back mid-2002, quit finance, went back to school, studied music at the VCA and then at MIT, and then managed bands and played in bands and all that sort of stuff. And I guess second career or third maybe even came from that.
I guess having a finance background, it's no surprise then that you come up with a song, You'll Lose Your Shirt. You
Oh
probably
yeah,
said that many, many times in your previous career.
yeah. I never actually did, but I avoided these. They're going up at a great rate, and it's like the internet bubble. People were telling me you got to get in. And I'm going, nah, I don't understand it. What do you mean you don't understand it? I said, well, where's the income? There's no income. Oh, it's a completely different new paradigm now. I went, yeah, yeah, okay. And then they all lost their shirts a few years later. But you lose your shirt, really. We were playing around Melbourne as the Broken Sweethearts, and one of the guys said, oh, look, we should do like a 12-bar bluesy thing to close the show and introduce the band. What are you thinking? Well, Chuck Berry, um, what's that? Brian Ferry one, Let's Stick Together. And I said, well, why do one of those? Why don't we just do our own? He said, well, we don't have one. So I wrote that. It took me 20 minutes.
Okay, so you've got 13 songs on the debut album. Have you
Yeah,
rehearsed every one of these songs to be a live song to be able to play in concert?
no, no. I've done a few of them solo acoustic. Now I feel the rain has been played a lot live in different band lineups. It happens every day. I played in different bands. The rest of them, no,
What's the
no,
story with back in Balmain? Have you been hanging around Sydney a bit too much?
no. I don't know why. I think because it rhymed with again, and it was not like been to St. Louis. Well, yeah, I have, but no one else in Australia has been. So, write what you know. Um, I actually, it's just a metaphor, really. I actually quite like Balmain, so people shouldn't be insulted by it. But again, rhymes with Balmain, so that's why not?
Yeah, and Balmain was where Malcolm Young from AC/DC lived the entire time of his life.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only member of AC/DC who remained in Australia.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Angus moved to Europe a long time ago, I think.
Yeah, he married a Dutch lady and lives in Amsterdam.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Amsterdam's okay. If you steer away, some of the back streets are quite interesting, but if you stay to the well-lit main drags, it's not bad.
And there you go. There's another topic for your book then.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the time I saw the guy with the heroin needle out of his private parts in a back alley in Amsterdam. Yeah.
So the show is coming up for Melbourne only. Is this a one-off show?
Well, we'll see. At the moment, yes, it is. I think one of the problems, nice problem to have. When we did the recording of the album, I had Bruce Haynes on keyboard. Bruce played with Ross Hannaford. He played with Renee Geyer, R.I.P. to both of them, and plays with Paul Kelly. So it's great to have him on the album, but when it came to the launch show, he's going to be in Europe with Paul Kelly,
Mhm.
so he can't make it. Cameron McKenzie, good friend, and he co-produced and engineered the album, and he and I did all the guitars. He did bass. He's on the road with Mark Seymour,
Mhm.
which he played with for 10 years. So it's a great band I've got put together, but I think that's one of the issues. It's not like the olden days, if I can hark back to that, where, you're 22, 23, no real responsibilities, chuck it all in the back of a station wagon. No one can afford a combi anymore because they're sort of 65, 70 grand or something. And you just drive around and play where you can, I just can't do that. And there aren't that many venues. I'm hoping to do a few shows, maybe half a dozen a year, but concentrating on bigger venues and festivals rather than schlepping around the door deals for. I'm too old for doing door deals in Brunswick.
Yes. So a seven-piece band, it's quite a big band.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was nearly eight. It was nearly eight, but uh, I was wanting to pedal steel player as well. The guy who played on the end of the line song is actually based in Sydney. So I wasn't going to fly him down for a song. And Ed Bates was the other one that we were looking at, but he's doing another show that night. So, yeah, we're going seven. Three of them have play with Jack Howard, if you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the long lost brothers and sisters or something he calls it, and the Bacharach and Beyond shows. So they've done those for quite a while. So I can run them down if you want. There's John Wade on piano and Hammond. We've got Nicky Del Rey on guitar, Rob Walker on bass, Amy Valent-Curlis on drums, me, of course, Tibor Gas, trumpet player, Anton Delica on saxophone, and Tracy Kingman.
Tracy Kingman, of course, is also legendary.
She's I should, yeah, actually, you're right. I should have said the legendary Tracy Kingman. Yeah, she is absolutely a gem. She's very professional, really, really nice, knows everybody in the industry. I haven't heard anyone who doesn't like her as a person. And she's a great vocalist. So I've been lucky to have spent probably 6 or 7 years with her now. Started off, I was just somebody in one of the bands I was in told me I couldn't sing. I went, okay, well, maybe I better go and learn to sing then. And so I found Tracy on Facebook and started taking lessons, and we've become, I guess, collaborators and friends since then. We co-wrote Echoes of the Valley, which is off the album. She and I co-wrote that.
So no doubt that one will be performed.
Oh, yeah, we're doing the whole album, plus a couple from my previous release, the EP, and a surprise at the end.
Oh, look forward to the surprise. Steve, it's been good to talk to you. The debut album at the age of 69. Congratulations on that.
Yeah. And thank you.
Quite the show coming up for Melbourne. Thanks for joining us here at Noise 11.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you, and hope to see you at the show.